Hello, watch this video. Let's watch this video and I will talk about it.
It's raising to the power of 2. How come 2 cannot carry 2?
Because the power of 2 is not enough to carry the other 2. So they will now bring out 4.
So they will now. Who they teach you that math?
But then learn that math in school.
Kobiro.
Ask Kobiro now.
What's you want to for you? What do you call agree yourself to?
They don't correct one kind, but not correct.
You correct one kind, but you're not correct.
Yes.
I ain't nothing correct. Tell me.
The multiplication where they teach us so 2 raised to the power of 2. 2 if you carry 2. So the guys go bush go 5 4 come.
Wait, the guys go bush
Go 5 4 come.
Okay.
So that 4 if you carry one of them for back, go carry the second one for front. Yes.
Carry one of who for back.
Carry 1 2 for back, carry on that 2 for front. You know say 4.
Wait. May if you understand me now. The question now, the thing with the teaching now for school now be multiplication.
Yes.
And you say
multiplication
2.
and subtraction.
You say 2 no go fit
carry 2.
Carry 2.
Yes, because they are 2 arrangements and the other 2 get the same power. So they don't fit carry each other. So they'll get involved.
So they could go find 4 for
bush. Bush will go 4. We go carry 1 for front. 1 go carry 1 for back. Because 4.
From what I deduced from this video, these boys are very, very intelligent guys. They were able to use pidgin English to analyze the abstraction about what they were trying to explain concerning the square root and multiplication and all that, and subtraction. So these guys were trying to explain, and what they were explaining were making sense. What they were saying was making sense. I could understand what we were trying to say, about 2 raised to power 2, because 2 they have to bring in 4 to carry the weight of 2. This is abstraction, and this is how mathematics we talk about today, physics, whatever. This is how this concept came about. People sat down, started thinking, started having this kind of abstract thinking, and that was how mathematics came about. And like these guys, I don't know where they are. If you're able to represent or able to put that down, this could be something very interesting for these boys, I'm telling you. Because if they can actually write what they're saying down and explain it, have a formula behind it, that is mathematics. That is an invention. These boys, very, very intelligent guys. I was listening to them, and I know that we have so many people like that in Nigeria. And that brings me back to the importance of using our local languages to teach in our schools. I was asking someone last time I was talking about this language issue, because in Nigeria, if you can't speak English, you are not, you don't know anything, you are not educated. And that's not true. Go to Russia, they don't speak English. Go to China, they don't speak English. Most of these great countries in the world, they don't speak English. We just, we have this concept that if you can't speak English, you don't know anything, you are not educated, you are not good. That is not true. That is still colonization mindset. That's what we have in Africa as a whole. Why don't we develop our own language? I was asking someone, assuming when we were in school, in secondary school, we were taught physics in pidgin English or in my local language, in Isha. Do you know the depth of understanding we would have gotten from those subjects? But we're battling, struggling, understanding English first before understanding the subject. And this is where And this is where the advanced countries, these countries I just mentioned, this is where Africa will not measure up. Because we are busy learning another man's language and not the subject. Why can't we draw up our own curriculum? Why can't we? What stops us from using our language? Okay, assuming we don't want to, like in Nigeria, we have different languages. There is a common language that everybody understands in Nigeria. Even the old men, they understand this language, and it's Pidgin English. Do you know how the English was formed? English was formed from different languages. French, Latin, Greek, different languages. In fact, the English you think you speak today, the correct English you speak today, is also Pidgin. It's a broken language from those languages. People don't know, you don't know. So if you can't speak the way they write it down, they tell you this is how you're going to speak it. If you can't speak it, you think you are not intelligent. That's not true. And this is where Africa is going backward, using another man's language to learn. How are you going to learn? How? You're not going to learn anything. We must start thinking about using our own language in our curriculum. Assuming you were taught chemistry or physics in Pidgin English, why would you fail physics? I'm sure 99% of people in Nigeria will score A in those subjects. I'm telling you. Assuming I was taught physics in Pidgin English or in my local language, my local dialect, I will score A. I will score A in physics or in English or whatever. This is where we are going backward, learning another man's language. And if you don't know it, they tag you as inferior. This is the problem of Africa. These are the fundamental things we need to start changing if we want to move forward. And these people, the Oimbos, they know that we can't think. How can you sit down, be learning another man's language and not yours in your curriculum, and you think you are smart? You are not. You are not smart. So we need to start making these fundamental changes in Africa, the whole of Africa. We need to start making these changes. And the first thing to do would be to change the Africa curriculum. We are still using British curriculum, British standard, whatever. No. Why don't Africa is different from British? We are not proud of our identity. This is our problem. When we come to go to any country, you learn the language. If you don't learn the language, you are not going to be able to integrate. If they go to Nigeria, we still speak English. Why don't they learn our language? Because there's power in our identity, in your identity. And your language is one of the identities you have. This is the problem of Africa. When we start using our local language in our curriculum, you will see so many inventors in Nigeria, in Africa, so many young inventors. People will be thinking, look at what these guys are talking about. Abstract. If you don't listen very well, you just think it's funny. It's not funny. Listen to what they're saying very well. They're talking, this is mathematics. This is mathematics. They are talking about very important concept. They are conceptualizing what they are, how you solve that kind of problem. If these guys can be able to write it down, have a proper formula and explanation for this, this is an invention. And that was how mathematics and all the subjects came about. If we want to move forward in Nigeria, in Africa, the first thing to do will be to adopt our own language in our curriculum. All the schools, in our curriculum. This is how we're going to have inventors in Africa. This is how we're going to have people that will be thinking. Have people that will be thinking, produce graduates or, graduate from that will be thinking, that will be using their brain, because as it is now, we are not using our brain. We are busy cramming another man's language before we can. Before our own, before the main subject. This is a big problem. If we want to make changes, like I said, in Africa, in Nigeria, the first thing will be to change our curriculum, our own curriculum to suit our African environment and our way of thinking. Secondly, is to adopt our own language in all the instructions in schools. You will see you have better people, better thinkers in Africa. That is the only way we're going to go forward. Thank you. This is Dr. Godwin Aigwe. If you can watch out for more videos. Thank you.